Welcome back to another Telltale Books video. I'm Greg, and I'm continuing my Stephen King series with the 15th story on my list of Stephen King works, which I have, again, in Skeleton Crew by Stephen King, one of his earlier collections. The story is called The Reaper's Image. It was originally published in Startling Mystery Stories magazine in the spring of 1969 issue. And it is just a short story. The synopsis of this story is that you have a guy named Mr. Carlin, and he has a mirror. It's an antique mirror. And another guy named Mr. Spangler is looking at the mirror, and he notices a black spot on the mirror, a very curious black spot. But Mr. Carlin isn't seeing it, but he kind of knows what's going on. And, put that together with the title, The Reaper's Image. Okay, and you get an idea of what's happening here. I'm not going to say any more than that. It is just a short story, a very short story. It's a really good short story. Definitely worth reading, especially if you're a Stephen King fan. But even if you just like short horror stories, this is a really excellent one. Reading it reminded me a lot of the old Night Gallery episodes. Not Twilight Zone. Night Gallery was different. Night Gallery was a little different. And this story, and it was written back when Night Gallery was on the air, I believe. So King may have been inspired by that style, though I don't know. I didn't see anything stating that, but the story is really well written. Even though you kind of see what's coming at you, it's in the presentation, it's in the writing, it's in the journey to what you know is coming that makes this story really enjoyable. So that the reveal at the end, you know what's happening. You get it, and you expect it. It's not surprising you. So the reveal doesn't really reveal anything. But, so it's not like a Twilight Zone episode where the ending has this twist that you usually can't see that you usually don't see coming. And the first time you see the episode, it surprises you. This story, you do see it coming, and it's just in the atmosphere and the telling and the journey through the story. That's where the horror comes from, the build towards what you know is coming, the anticipation of that. That's what makes this kind of story really work and really powerful. So it's a good story. I wouldn't call it a top tale. I don't think it's quite that good, but it is a very enjoyable story and recommended to, horror fans, period. Unless you have to have something more than 100 pages, this is an excellent story. So I encourage you to seek it out and read it. Skeleton Crew is available. This edition, of course, is, I think this is the first edition I've got. Not signed or anything, so it's not super valuable, but that hardcover edition isn't available. But there's plenty of copies of pretty much all of Stephen King's books available brand new in stores or ebooks from Kindle or Apple Books. You can find Skeleton Crew easily. So if you've read The Reaper's Image, what did you think? What are your thoughts? Some people have been making comments on other videos of mine that give perspectives on the story that I never thought of. And I love that. I want to hear stuff like that, or any other thoughts you have about the story or comments I made here or Stephen King in general. Please leave them in the comments. I want to read them. I want those dialogues going on. And I want them to be public. I want a public discourse about these stories. And otherwise, like the video, subscribe to the video. That helps us bring people in and helps people to find us. Helps us with that YouTube algorithm that it seems hell-bent on kicking everybody out. And come on back for more. I'm going to be here doing these. The next Stephen King story I will be reading Actually, it's one I've already read not long ago, and I'm just going to do an official video on the whole thing. It's going to be Graveyard Shift, and that comes from the Night Shift collection. I hope you'll join me for that. I'll be here doing it.